think this is alright or not?
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll make it work. What about you? You're not going to stay. Big party.
I know
Gonna get
it's a
big
good one
wings,
here. it's a good party here normally.
Really?
But,
You're the first Formula E driver on this
Okay,
podcast,
great.
so it's actually a massive honour.
Amazing.
I'm kidding. Well, Stoffel, thank you so much for joining me. It's an honour to have you out here in Mexico City. Beautiful place. I want to start by having a chat with you about how your racing career has changed. You've raced in so many series, had such a successful career so far. How is it going for you, and where did that love of racing start?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm kind of on a journey, and I've had, along my career quite a lot of success, won quite a lot of championships, but it obviously all started with go-karting. When I was about 5 years old, my family doesn't really have any history in motorsport, but my dad's an architect and he designed a go-kart track, and that's kind of how I got a first taste of go-karting.
Yeah.
So in the beginning,
did you race
obviously,
at his track?
well, it wasn't my dad's track, but
Okay.
he kind of designed it, and that was it.
So you were like, yeah, I know which way, like, got a heads
Exactly.
up.
So that's when I first tried it. Obviously loved it. I pretty much tried every other sport, but I never really had the same passion that I had for racing.
It sounds like you've had really incredible memories from very early on, and obviously you're coming off an incredible year. Congratulations on your championship last year. How are you looking back at that season, and what memories are you going to try and bring into this season from then?
Yeah, last season was really a great season for me. Obviously, winning a championship is always nice, and yeah, I mean, I think what really was the key to that season was the consistency that I had. I mean, I only won one race, Monaco, which is probably the best one.
Yeah, 100%. I'd win Monaco if I could.
But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of podiums through the year. I was always kind of up there. And I feel like looking to this next season, I feel like that's something that I gotta try and keep. That level of consistency really helped me, to build a push on the championship. But there's so many things changing this year. New cars. I'm changing team as well, going with the Penske. So it's not going to be that straightforward.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, well, two things really. First of all, growing up, Formula E wasn't around when you were growing up. So what was the dream then? And now, having won the championship, what do you think a younger Stoffel would be saying? And how have your ambitions changed as your racing career has progressed?
Yeah, I mean, definitely in the beginning, I would say, obviously, it's everyone's dream to get to Formula One. But I wouldn't.
But you've been there, done that.
No, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that was on my mind when I was growing up and like starting go-karting. I mean, I'm not from a super wealthy family, so I was just really enjoying what I was doing and just grabbing every opportunity that they gave to me. First of all, I was really happy to be able to make the jump from go-karting into cars. I got an opportunity there with the Belgian Federation, kind of funding that, and then ultimately I got picked up by McLaren. So I was kind of not sure whether it was going to be possible to get there, but ultimately I got my chance, and I'm still very, very grateful for that. Now Formula E, I was maybe not expecting to be here, but I had this great opportunity with Mercedes to represent them and race for them, and now I managed to win a world championship.
Amazing. Oh, that's a success story if I've ever heard one. So, I mean, looking back, obviously your previous teammate has now left the sport. You've left your old team has left. There's so many changes coming into the season. How much, in single-seater racing, a lot of times there's two people in a team. So when someone leaves and you join a new team, how much does that really change your mindset going into a new season?
It's never straightforward to change teams, just because I was 4 years with Mercedes, and obviously you get comfortable with the working environment, with the people that are there, with the procedures, and even the relationship you're building with your engineer is super important. And to leave all of that behind and join a completely different outfit is taking a little bit of time in the beginning to build the personal relationship. Just speaking with my engineer, the communication within the team is something I have to get used to, and all the procedures that they have put in place. But I'm lucky to be with a very strong team as well. They've
Yeah.
won a lot of championships. I've got a very competitive teammate as well with Jeff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I can imagine, you know, throughout your career, you've built a team yourself as well. I know in F1, you know, your trainers will go with you, but have you brought anyone over with you to your new team as well?
I mean, I still have my management,
Yeah.
which have been with me for a very long time, and you know, it's kind of the people that, let's say, I always call before and after
Yeah.
the race, and just kind of someone out of the actual racing team. Let's say, you know, someone that's there to support you, that is able to give you advice, and I think it's very important to have a person like that.
Yeah, it's an intense life a lot of the time. It's non-stop. You know, talking about Mercedes, I'm so intrigued by how Formula E is growing and teams come and go. You know, we've got McLaren coming in this year, but I want to ask you from your point of view why you think Mercedes left the sport, and yeah, what you think the future of Formula E is. You know, F1 is sometimes called like the fastest growing sport in the world, but I see that with Formula E as well, and I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly about the reason why Mercedes left. I think part of it was obviously COVID, which
Yeah.
was a big hit for the championship, you know, because we race in city centers. That's the DNA of this championship, and suddenly, you know, we were not able to travel anymore, and you know, that definitely took a big hit on the championship. Together with that came probably you know, obviously a slowdown in the economy, and you know, manufacturers struggling, and then we had to take a decision to commit to Gen 3 or not. So I think all of these factors together probably, you know, came to that decision for Mercedes. You know, it's a shame because we obviously won 2 championships after they've decided to pull out of the championship, but that's sometimes how life goes. I would say I was lucky to kind of know the decision quite early, and I still had a year to figure out where my future is going to be. So you know, from that perspective, it's been okay.
Well, talking about your future, you've also got another exciting project, being the reserve driver with Aston Martin. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How is that going to change your year? And obviously you'll be splitting that role with Felipe as well. Have you met before? Do you get on well with each other? What's your year going to look like from here?
Yeah, it's going to be very busy.
Very busy.
You know, Formula E is a lot of races we go to, and then Formula One. I mean, we know the gig. It's a lot of traveling as well, but I wouldn't say, you know, it's kind of similar to what I did last season with Mercedes. I was racing in Formula E with them, and then I was reserve driver, part-time for them as well. And I think with Aston Martin, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be kind of similar in terms of the amount of time that I spend with them. Probably even more actually. You know, I'll be more present at the races, and I'll probably be a bit more involved in the development of the team as well. You know, Aston Martin is a team that's investing a lot of money. They're kind of on a journey right now. There's a new factory coming up, a new simulator coming up. So there's lots of things to work on, and yeah, I'm excited, you know, to kind of come into this year and pretty much have everything new.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about this year. You're, you know, joining a new colleague in an old colleague as well, I suppose, with Fernando Alonso. You raced together at McLaren. How excited are you to be back together? And yeah, I mean, your careers have gone in different directions now, but do you still talk? Are you still friendly with each other? How does that relationship look?
Yeah, definitely. We still have a great relationship. It'll be nice to, you know, to start working with Fernando again. And obviously, we were in a complete different environment than we were a few years back. But you know, Fernando's an impressive driver. He's still so hungry to race, and I think he's seen the potential in Aston Martin as well, what they can do in the future. So it'll be great to work together again.
It's great, you know, you're so involved in the F1 paddock, FE paddock. I've got to ask you something though. I've heard that Formula E parties are way better than F1 parties. Can you please confirm or deny?
I definitely confirm that. Yeah, they're pretty good. So
Really?
you know, if you're ever staying out after a race,
Well, now I'm going to make sure I am.
yes, definitely.
Monaco, I might have to just find a way there. I'm really looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be fantastic. The most exciting thing about this year with Formula E is the Gen 3 car. You've driven it at testing.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
tell me how it felt to be in that car.
Yeah, Gen 3, it's a different animal to Gen 2. It's got a lot more power. The tires have changed. The looks of the car have obviously changed quite a lot. But I would say it's definitely the most difficult car we've had in Formula E. It's very easy to make mistakes actually. So
really?
putting laps together is going to be very challenging in qualifying. But you know, it's part of the game, it's part of the job, and hopefully we can just do a better job than everyone else.
Yeah, what is the game plan this weekend and this season in general?
Well,
apart from winning the championship.
I mean, there's yeah, I hope I can fight for the championship, definitely, but there's so many unknowns coming into this weekend that I'm not really setting myself any specific targets. I just want to get away from Mexico feeling like I've done a good job. I've not made any big mistakes, let's say, and especially for the team, I hope we can just learn a lot about this type of racing and really start to build a good campaign.
I think that's so interesting, you talking about leaving and feeling good. I think as an athlete, it must be so hard to not really criticize every little thing you do, especially when you've got another race coming up next week. How have you trained your mind to get into that place of, okay, we just go again, soon?
I think I've always been pretty good at like kind of putting my emotions aside and just being honest with myself and with everyone. Admit mistakes, not blame anyone. Mistakes happen, and I think as long as you learn from them and try and not repeat them, then everyone moves forward.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Good luck this year, and I'll see you around.
I'll see you around.
Thank you for joining me. Cool.
Cheers.
You are done.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.